All right, so 4-color dragons. I like the 2 angles this deck is coming in at. So we've got 4 copies of Deafening Clarion as well as cheap removal at the bottom end to keep ourselves alive against aggressive decks. And then we've got cards like Nicol, Bolas, Niv-Mizzet, and Chromium at the top end to keep ourselves alive against what's it called, decks? Other control decks in the format, kind of grind them out. Not all of the lands are displayed on the screen, so if you use the Stream Decker widget, you'll be able to find all of the full deck list without any of it being cut off. Upward, backward, forward. It was really bad, Pekin. Sure. My last 7 opponents been green-black. I've taken at least 100 turns in these games. Amulet's great. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely the most fun I've had in Standard. And I should read this card so I know what it does. When a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it gets a gold counter. Remove a gold counter to draw a card, and it's a mana of any color. So it's like fixing, ramp, and card advantage. Seems sweet. It's like really good with Nicol Bolas, right? Nick's like they discard a card, we draw a card. Isn't Chromium the only white card? Yes, Chromium is the only white card in our deck. Oh, Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat. You guys want to do this, give them another turn with the Electromancer. Because, like, if they use the Electromancer, get a Phoenix into play, we, like, take 1 hit, but then I get to Clarion them next turn, so that seems fine for me. You can always find my decks on the screen via the Stream Decker widget. You can also type ! deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. If you're looking for sweet decks like this, you can always find lots of them on my website. Alright, still no bird. Blink of an Eye is interesting. Seems like a sweet main deck card. I guess it cantrips. Still no birds, yep. The 10K starts at noon CST, 10 a.m. PST. Yeah, I'm testing out doing more standard for my live streams and then doing more modern as my offline streams. So I've started posting somewhere between 4 and 6 YouTube exclusive videos per week, which are just leagues that I'm recording offline and then putting right on YouTube as opposed to streaming them live. Gives me a little bit of flexibility. It allows me to pump my Twitch numbers up a little bit because the average viewer count for Arena tends to be a lot higher than the average viewer count than Magic Online. My poor dragon. He demanded so much and got so little. gonna get Spell Pierced here and slide out of my chair. I should have cast this before doing this. I think just Clarioning is fine. There's no guarantee they can get the bird back next turn, and I'd like to Lava Coil a Drake. Yeah, I agree, Jabuno. Like I said, all of my decisions are data driven, right? So like when I make a change, it's because the numbers reflect that this change makes sense. This is wrong. I should have just Lava Coiled. Yeah, I probably should have just Lava Coiled. Although, I don't know. If I Lava Coil and they have a dive down, I just die. I'm actually making more modern content than before. It's just some of it is going right to YouTube instead of being streamed on Twitch. So previously I was doing 2 days of modern and 3 days of standard. And now I'm doing 3 longer days of standard and 1 day of modern with a bunch of offline stuff as well. Why do I need to coil? I mean, with that attitude, blah MC, there's no point in playing Magic Online, right? Like I don't care about fun points. I don't care about rank. I just want to play meaningful matches of Magic. Oh yeah, I guess I could have cycled the dive down, huh? Niv lets me do that. I think that's a good suggestion, that I should have cycled the dive down, because I was thinking the dive down wouldn't save the Niv from dying, but it doesn't have to save it from dying, right? It can just draw a card. I think that is a correct assessment, that I should have cast the dive down there to draw a card. Yeah, like I'm by no means, like I'm not committed to like what my schedule is. Like if I stream a bunch of standard and the numbers change, the numbers stop being good, I can always pivot back to doing more Magic Online. But as long as these standard numbers are good, I want to capitalize on that. Give myself potential, like pick up more sponsors and stuff. Good games, Unicorn. Good luck in the rest of your matches today. Yeah, I had Dragon's Hoard untapped. Dragon's Hoard could have tapped for blue. I'm probably just gonna die to this ulting next turn. Did I plan to stream Vintage Cube? No, we play all constructed on this channel. Very little desire to play limited. The extension is having server issues today. It's failing to connect for me and some others. I pinged the person that makes the extension, but they haven't responded.
Madness. What madness?
All right, it's a pretty good one. I don't know if it's good enough. We might just get burned out by the conjecture next turn, but get to like 5U and like get a bunch of stuff back. This is a little bit late. I don't know offhand. You could type !deck to see the deck list in chat. Not actually sure how our mana is distributed offhand. This is a viewer submitted deck like most of the things we play here. What's going on, Shu? I feel like that's less of the case these days. Like once upon a time, everybody who was streaming Magic Online like streamed Cube. But like, there's way more people streaming Arena than streaming Magic Online these days. Hey, Spurt. Thanks for the 213 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. We could still die this turn. Like this chart, of course, all their spells double up here. Conjecture is very scary. They could ditch a couple of Phoenixes if there's a second Phoenix. This is a third Phoenix, we're dead. They could also like hit another cantrip into another Phoenix. So I'm going to 5 here. Any burn spell is lethal. I have 2 Phoenixes coming back here. Yep. Good game, opponent. Would you players sign up for the tournament on Tuesday? You don't. The tournament on Tuesday was an invitation tournament. Twitch is running it, and they invited their people who stream on Twitch. Binding's okay here. Clarion seems really mediocre here. I don't really have anything else to bring in here, huh? Do I have a 4th Lava Coil on my board? No 4th Lava Coil is probably a mistake. How much do you think Eternal formats would impact your stream if Reno's implement them? I don't know. That's like saying, how would impacting my stream if I won $1 million, right? It's just like talking about something that's not going to happen. It's like it's not very constructive or useful. I don't ever expect there to be I have no idea, Everlife. I just got an email asking me if it was something I wanted to do, and I said yes. Stroke for Drake is like really narrow. I have like exactly 4 copies of that card, and I have a bunch of removal spells for it. Yeah, if I suddenly became a millionaire, I'd still stream Magic, just probably not 50 hours a week. It'd probably be something that I do like, you know, a dozen or 2 dozen a week. The price pool, yeah, it's a $10,000 price pool. First place is $3 grand, and then top 16 is $250, and then top 8, top 4 finals are like varying amounts in between $250 and $3 grand. Yep, it's a pretty sweet for a free roll tournament. It's best of 3. It's a really casual tournament. It's best of 3. It's not the incredibly competitive best of 1 like the latter. Between 32 and 64 players, so it's a small tournament too. I decided on a deck yet? I've not. I have 3 decks that I'm going to pick from. I'm either going to play Esper Amulet, Mono Black Banefire, or Jund Dinos. Jund Dinos is probably the smart pick. The deck's really proactive. Would love to draw a land next turn, so we can get Niv into play here. Fast Niv's really good in this matchup, obviously. I feel like the Unclaimed Territory is probably bad. The Unclaimed Territory is probably better off as like a blue-black or another white or another black duel. Honestly, I could even just see it being like Isolated Chapel. Although I guess Unclaimed Territory technically makes mana for Niv. Best deck for best of 1, being lucky. When your coin flips, play something aggressive. They are posting the participant list for Tuesday on Monday, tomorrow. They're running, the whole thing's a little bit last minute. They said that they had some money to put into it and they needed to spend it before the end of the year, I guess. Yeah, the Dragon's Hoard pokes for damage too, right? Because it draws a card with Niv. That's what Niv-Mizzet does, chat. He says win the game. And you win the game, and you win the game. Everybody wins the game. This hand seems fine. This hand seems fine. Have there been any Sultai lists that I've liked? Yeah, there was a 4x Carnage Tyrant with Thunderherd migration Sultai list that we played a little bit. You can find that on the YouTube channel. I think the Sultai Fish deck was sweet too, that's true. If you don't want a control deck, the Sultai Merfolk deck was quite fantastic. I liked that one a lot. No Parasite, I have not. That's a sweet draw. Means I get to curve Demanding Dragon into Niv-Mizzet here, assuming I don't get negated. The Mono Black Banefire's deck is just a good control deck with a win condition that's difficult to interact with. Is the reason that I like it. So even if they cast 2 1-mana spells here, we can Shivan Fire their Phoenix, then untap and Demanding Dragon them. Probably not. People who live and die by playing Merfolk don't play Green and Fish, so it's probably not good enough. No, BDP, I only played one of their qualifier tournaments. I lost in top 4. That's not true. I played in one of their team tournaments too, where Matt and I top 16. Bacon Bowl, rude. So, Bacon Bowl means that I want to wait a turn to play the Niv-Mizzet, because I want to play Niv-Mizzet with Dive Down up. That's an excellent draw. Let's draw a card with this. Medium sequencing there on my part, but I probably would have taken the same line. I don't think I would have jammed Demanding Dragon this turn. I just take these birds out. Any advice for someone who would like to compete in them? Yes, communicate very clearly with your opponent, and judges are there to help. A lot of people coming from other competitive things are like afraid to call judges. You should not be afraid to call a judge. The easiest way to know if you should call a judge in Paper Magic is if you think there might be a chance you should call a judge, you should definitely call a judge. The only people that'll give you crap for calling a judge in Paper Magic are people who are idiots or cheaters. And you don't really care if you offend either of those types of people. No, I want to Shivan Fire the bird when it goes to combat Krago, so that way they can't play 3 spells and get it back. I'd prefer to not take damage this turn. So, like, obviously that gives them a chance to protect it with Dive Down, but they're pretty likely they can get it back. That's really unfortunate. So I have to trade this here. If they go to Beacon Bolt this, I get to protect it with Dive Down, which is pretty sweet for us. Otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and trade. So I could get a point of damage with the Dragon Hoard by drawing a card before the Niv dies, but I really don't want to, like, draw a card with the Dragon Hoard, then have them, like, play 2 spells and kill my Niv. Yeah, that's correct, MTG player. I should have killed it at the start of combat before it was declared as an attacker. That is definitely true. Draw a card here. Say hello to my little friend. I only have one Phoenix in there. Thanks for all the awesome content. Keep up the great work. Matthew, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I feel like not having a 4th Niv in this deck might be a mistake. Potential that that's a mistake. Hopefully this dive down resolves and they just concede. They're gonna like bacon bolt this. I'll dive down. I'll draw 2. They'll concede. Even if they have the counterspell for my dive down, I get to draw a 3rd card, which probably means I'm killing them. Wow, this is bold. So they're digging for a counterspell to try and make sure Bacon Bolt resolves. The green-red amulet deck was really terrible, so we stopped playing it. We played a match and a half and we were done. It was really clunky and awkward. Yeah, Deckmaster's dead. It's not working this afternoon. Hey, Extreme Gamer. Thanks for the 8 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, so this is a concession dive down, right? It's like 10 out of 10 not close. Into the water. Into the water. No, I don't do the thing where people can send me food. Because I assume it would just be a bunch of trolls sending me meat things. Long-time follower from YouTube. It's nice to catch a live stream. Well, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, Golmorg. Any dollary dues people ship my way should definitely be extra fun money. So I appreciate people just being here watching. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday out there and a good weekend. I just don't like the taste of meat, so I don't eat it. Been a vegetarian for a little over a decade. The summer I was 17 I started. I'm almost 28. I'm an old man, chat. Old man. I think I want to just play this. I think the worst part about playing Hollow in a competitive REL event was my opponent not wanting to roll dice to randomly select the cards. They getting salty when I called the judge after they argued with me. No, my wife and kids both eat meat.
Bolas told me I should do this.
I don't need to force my beliefs on other people. My kids can do what they want. No, I've been an angry old man since I was like 16 years old. I look 40, I'm not actually 40.
You want to fight?
I think that's a win for me.
Don't stop now.
Would have really liked to draw a land there, but definitely just gonna Clarion my wayward son. Nox is coming. Did Nox just get done for the day? Muscles of a 67-year-old. I will have you know I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. Thank you very much. 3 to 4 times a week. Nox with the raid. Thank you very much for that generous host. Welcome, 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 folks. I'm over from Nox channel. We're hanging out playing some four color dragons here this afternoon. And we're about to Clarion this mono red opponent. Just keep the pressure off the table here. I could stick Nicol Bolas here, but I think just like cleaning up here is fine. I also want to play the Clarion before I Nicol Bolas, because I don't want to deal 4 to my Nick and then let them finish it off with a single burn spell. It might be worth it to stick Sarkhan here first, just so I could like play Nick with a dive down up, but getting the pressure into play here sooner rather than later seems fine. And like, if my opponent spends 2 burn spells killing this, that's probably a win for me, right? Like, I'm at 14. Hey, Number Endic, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine with that. Yeah, we just got a very generous host from, or raid from Nox, who is arguably, I think just objectively, the largest Magic streamer at the moment. His numbers have been quite absurd. He regularly pushes 3,000 to 4,000. Alright, what do you got? Do you have a Lava Coil? Fiery Finish. Looks like we're playing its mono red cards I own. Probably go Sarkhan into ditch a Lava Coil here.
I know what I'm doing.
Day 9 does have great viewer numbers when he streams. He doesn't stream a ton of Magic though. He doesn't do content full time, right? Nox said I didn't like Arena in the beginning. What were my reasons? I never explicitly disliked Arena so much as I didn't like the standard format that was available on Arena. So Magic standard format is getting out of the end of like a little bit of a rough time, or was getting out of the end of a rough time, and since rotation it's been fantastic. But there was a time pre-rotation where Magic standard format was not quite fantastic. All right, gonna have to manually tap here because I want to make sure I leave double blue up, and it keeps wanting to tap me off my blue source. I'm just gonna leave up double dive down here because there's like never winning if Niv stays in play. Well, yeah, they got rid of the ladder for best of 3, right? And they renamed best of 3 from competitive to traditional Magic. Niv's gonna end the game very quickly here. Dive Down is such a good card. I think this might be my pick for one of the best cards in Standard. It just does so much in so many different ways. Opponent understands that Niv means the game is over. Alright, mono red stuff. Moment of Cravings for sure. Want to drag our curve down a little bit here. Chromium and Eldest Reborn aren't particularly fantastic. The sacrifice a creature text on Demanding Dragon isn't very good here, but just like having a 5/5 for 5 I think is fine. I don't really have any other great cards to bring in here. I guess I'll just like bring in one Invoke the Divine as a hedge against... Actually, I'd rather bring in Ixalan's Binding as a hedge against the Experimental Frenzy. I'm gonna trim a Sarkhan too. Just a little bit clunky. Yeah, there's been a surprising number of precons since they rolled over the MMR. We haven't hit too many today. Yesterday and the day before was a lot worse, but we've been winning a lot of matches, so we've been getting fewer and fewer of them. Well, that's a hand. I think I'm gonna keep this. Obviously, it needs to draw a white source, but like Lava Coil's castable even if we don't. What are the advantages of playing this deck over Jeskai control? I don't know if there's any strict advantages. So this deck, like a lot of the decks that I play on the stream, is a viewer submitted deck list. So we're just playing card for card what someone sent in. I mean, I fully expect Wizards to integrate best of 3 into the ladder at some point. They just seems like they didn't want to do it immediately to start. I think I should have named Sorcery with its Unclaimed Territory so it can make white mana for Deafening Clarion. Would that have been the better line? They do have dragon synergies in the deck. That's true. Yeah, the Twitch extension is offline today, unfortunately. It's not letting me sign in. There are a couple other people in the Deckmaster Discord that were also having the issue. Some kind of server issue. I think the people that were already logged in got to stay logged in, but anybody new trying to fire it up was unable to. There we are. Just quit literally playing against the theme deck. And again, like, this is, you know, magic happens sometimes, right? Like, even though we're playing against the theme deck, we could just get run over here because we're just, like, not really getting to play magic. Yeah, for those not aware, the name Sorcerer at Unclaimed Territory, that's a joke. The people in chat that are pointing out that you have to name a creature type are correct. Gosh, could you imagine if this was best of one? We just got, like, dumpstered by this. I think we're dead, right? Alright, they're on the scoreboard. Let's take the play for the third game. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Slow and steady. What's the best deck for climbing standard at the moment? Well, the ladder's not standard. The ladder is best of one, which is different than normal standard magic. I would recommend playing something as incredibly linear as possible in the best of one ladder. You just want to cheese people out of the game. This hand can cast Clarion. Sign me up. In. Feeling judged by their username, you are easy. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just do this, I think. If they want to spend an attack plus an attack plus a shock on him, I think that's fine with me. And if they don't kill Sarkhan this turn, I get to Nicol Bolas plus pick back up Spitfire next turn. Yeah, red aggro and white aggro are both great choices to run people over with. I really like the mono white deck that splashes heroic reinforcements. Oh, Pyromancer can kill planeswalkers. That's sad.
Strike like you mean it.
Take my 2-for-1 here. Just clean that up. I could have shocked myself and put the Nicol Bolas into play, but I think I'd rather just clean their board out here. That's a 3-1 with haste. Where can you find my desk? Just Google random standing desk. I'm not a big fan of the brand that I have. The electronics in it are kind of cheap and having some issues. I mean, your win rate on the ladder matters to a degree, but you are correct in that, like, an aggressive deck with an identical win rate to a control deck is going to be better off, right? Even with a little bit worse win rate, even. Look at that. We get to use both modes. Clarion plus X4s is so busted. You're just like, all right, blow your board up, gain 4, nice aggro deck. Bunk. Oh no, not a haste creature. Is Clarion X4 a combo or a synergy? I guess it depends on how you define those words. The ladder's not representative of the standard metagame because Magic's a game that's designed with best of 3 in mind. So deck lists and archetypes that are completely viable in a best of 3 setting can be completely unplayable on the ladder. Sacrifice a creature, I'm gonna decline. Because if I sacrifice a creature, they're gonna hit me for 3 anyways, so it's kind of silly to do that. Unfortunately, still fumbling on lands here. Gosh, I don't even want to think about Modern in a best of 1 setting. That sounds really rancid. If they have land into their deal 7 card here, we might actually be in trouble. Because we've stumbled and died again. There's that 6 mana deal 7 to something. They can kill my dragon and then attack me for 5. How many lands are in this deck? And 25? I feel like there should probably be 24 or 25. There's 25, that's probably plenty. I would love to block. I think I'm actually gonna do this, and then I'm gonna play this other Nicol Bolas out, just to like, this can get multiple gold counters on it, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do this out just to like get another gold counter and take the last card out of their hand. Like, if I lose this game, I'm gonna lose it with cards in my hand, so I might as well like, get stuff out of their hand. Oh, I can pay red and pick this up, is that worthwhile? Probably not. I think I'd rather hold up Dive Down here, and I don't really want to shock this in. Yeah, we had a giant raid from Nox when he went offline today. Very gracious of him to do that. I would like to block. I'd like to dive down to save my Nicol. Alright, hopefully we find a real deck of magic cards in the next one. Something more than starter decks, please. And for staying mythic, you get 5 packs and 1,000 coins. Yeah, the rewards for getting to the top of the ladder definitely aren't fantastic. It was really bad, Totos. We played a match and a half. You make them think it's the Vivian mirror match, then you swap to the Tezzeret avatar once you get into game. Pull a fast one on them. Give them the old pocket sand. Sha! You old rusty Shackleford. Opponent. What are we doing here? Perfect. I mean, that's... I think I'm supposed to keep this. It needs to draw some mana sources, but like, it's got these two to potentially stave off an aggressive deck, and like, this top end is obviously absurd against control. The 4-color control deck was rancid against every aggro deck we played against. It was really good against midrange and control. Is this looking like the deck of the day? What else did we play? We played something else earlier that was really sweet. I'm having a memory fart on what exactly we played, but I think something else earlier today was sweet. We've only played 1 match with this. 2 matches? The Dinos deck. Yeah, it's probably the Jund Dinos deck. That's the deck of the day so far. The Jund Dinos deck was really smooth. Drover of the Herd, or whatever that card's called, was great. What are we doing, opponent? Perfect. Am I playing AOS Champion since Wave 2? Yeah, I've been playing Death Quick Quest. It's an updated version of the Mordant Quick Quest deck I posted last season. I think I tweeted it out at one point. Yeah, mono red or white splash red aggro, probably your 2 best aggro choices for grinding up the ladder, if that's what you're into these days. Come on, opponent. They like queue in while they were doing something else. All right, I forgive you for being slow if you're playing a real deck opponent. Looks pretty real to me. Probably gonna put this into play tap next turn and like hopefully set up to like Clarion away 2 or 3 things next turn. Ideally just like want to draw lands for the next 3 to 4 turns here. All right, so they have nothing else going on. I don't think I want to take another hit from this. I'm gonna go ahead and Lava Coil it. little bit of stumble on both sides of the board here. Looks like it's going to happen potentially. The best draw next turn would be Sarkhan into a land. All right, so they're stumbling. Since they're stumbling, do I Clarion this one Land War Elves? I think I'm going to Clarion the Elf, especially with a backup in hand. Like, if they miss on a land drop again next turn and don't get to play a 3-drop, this seems really good for us. So I'm asking Twitch chat if we should Stone Rain my opponent, and they're like giving me a resounding yes. This is my surprise face. Twitch chat really wants to Stone Rain my opponent. So any land lets us cast Niv-Mizzet next turn. Otherwise, we get to jam Demanding Dragon, which will trigger the Dragon's Hoard. Perfect. In we go. Landy hype. What's going on, Dragonskull? Thanks for the biddies and thanks for using the charity hashtag. I appreciate that. Have you ever Stone Rained someone and felt bad? Yeah, when they untap and kill me afterwards. This is interesting. They're gonna keep playing Magic after. They're gonna continue playing Magic after we untap with Niv-Mizzet. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him here. Oh, you know what? This is technically a mistake. I should have killed this before this trigger went on the stack. Okay, well, they messed up. So I get to do this, which will trigger Niv, which will kill this. So we both stumbled a little bit. We unfumbled before they did. Big Dragons did what Big Dragon's gonna do. Why am I shouting? I'm not shouting. There's this little icon in the corner of your computer screen. It usually looks like a speaker making noise. If you click on that, it'll adjust how loud the man in the talkie box is. So if the man in the talkie box is too loud, you can sort it out that way. For those that are wondering why I have a full voice when I talk, I did a lot of, I did a non-zero amount of stage acting during high school and college. So when I am performing, and streaming is basically a performance, I project my voice when I do that. So I'm not yelling. If I was yelling, I would be hoarse by the end of the stream. I can just project my voice in a strong manner for, you know, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, however long we stream for. Talkie box too quiet. Yell, please. Horse stream when, right? I do have a standing desk. You do realize we're not at the back of the auditorium. Listen, actors love to, even when you have a microphone on you, you still need to project. The microphone doesn't give you a voice, it just picks up the voice that you put into it. How are we sideboarding here against green black? Definitely want these Stars of Extinction. What do I not want? The Eldest Reborns are kind of mediocre here, I think. While their deck has Carnage Tyrant in it, their deck tends to surround it with a bunch of other smaller creatures, which makes Eldest Reborn a lot less good. We like Expansion against green black. Why is Expansion good against green black? I guess it doubles up with Deafening Clarion to clear out their stuff. I don't think this is a Disdainful Stroke or Negate matchup, because I would prefer to just be tapping out every turn as opposed to interacting and responding with them. Like, Dive Down is cheap enough to hold up because it's only a single mana, but I think, like, holding up 2 mana is not something that I'm going to want to be doing. The Explosion part is okay in top deck situations, that's true. But, like, I already have a lot of cards that are, like, good in top deck situations. Could you please entertain us with some juggling in between your priorities? I cannot juggle. Yeah, we had a massive raid from Nox. It looks like a bunch of people stuck around. I would like to thank everyone for sticking around today. If you came over from Nox's stream, hope everyone's having a good weekend. If you're new to my channel, my name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. We play nothing but constructed Magic on this channel, mostly best of 3 standard on Arena and also some modern on Magic Online. I am a once-upon-a-time pseudo-professional Magic player. The Star City Games Tour is the largest independent Magic circuit in the world. They focus primarily in the Midwest and Eastern United States. I qualified for 2 of their 3 Players' Championship tournaments back in the day when that was something they were doing. It seems fine. It's got, like, ramp into Star of Extinction. deck shuffling in between turns. I could definitely do deck shuffling. What's the mantra? Bolt the bird, fire the elf. Kill it with fire. I am the top 8 player. I definitely hold the record for most SCG Open top 8s without a win. A little bit of shuffle ASMR. The air bridge is a little bit tricky. Sometimes I fumble them. Sometimes I fumble the air bridge. Do you have that record or just hand it at this point? It depends on how you count it. If you count 1-day SCG Opens, I still have more than Tannen, but Tannen has more 2-day Open top 8s without a win at this point. Not that this is really a title either of us should be arguing what we have. Monty Python, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine again this month. All right, so probably go Sarkhan into ditch the Unclaimed Territory, play Steam Vents.
My scales.
The mouse overlay is currently offline. They're having server issues today. If I get to untap with the Sarkhan and the Dragon Hoard, I get to play Niv on turn 5 with Dive Down up, which sounds exciting. You should get your advertisers to sell a copy of your shuffling deck along with the Beast of the bundle. That's a fun idea. No, I don't want to play the Sarkhan until I can protect him, or the Niv until I can protect him, exactly.
Look to the skies.
Look to the skies. It's possible I should wait till post-Star of Extinction to play the Niv, but like, Niv in play is going to draw a lot of cards. So let's just get him out there, especially with the dive down here to protect him. Arena doesn't have an official overlay. It does, however, have an output log text file that the Deckmaster application scrapes and then uploads data to from Twitch. So basically, whenever anything happens on Arena, like you draw a card or a card gets put on the board, Arena dumps that data out into a text file in JSON format. Yeah, kinda. So like, if I block and then dive down and they have Vraska's Contempt, I just get Savage, which does not sound ideal. I think I would prefer that to not be what happens to me. Chupacabra, yep. So this is going to come in and target, and when I dive down here, I'm going to go ahead and have his ping hit the Doom Whisperer. No, that's not true. Oh man, this Clarion plus my draws with Hoard and for the turn mean I'm going to get to kill this Doom Whisperer with Niv, right? Rats, that's unfortunate. They might take the Star of Extinction, although I guess the Star of Extinction kills my board too, so they're probably okay with that. Yeah, they probably should have attacked first. You should teach how to actually play streams. I don't know what you mean by that. Yeah, I think that's the wrong duress take here, unless they have another duress. I think that was a mistake on their part. So I get to do this. And I get to go ahead and play this. And then I'm going to Clarion, which actually gives Niv lifelink as well, which is kind of absurd. And then Clarion draws me a card, and then both Dragon Hoard and Sarkhan could also draw me cards. So I'm going to get to kill this Doom Whisperer here and then attack with Niv. Niv basically reads suspend one, win the game. It's like if you get to untap within the game is over. How to play Magic competitively? There are a lot of people that all their streams focus on is how to play Magic competitively. And they do a really good job of it. For a long time, I streamed nothing but a competitive focus on Magic, and that content's just not very popular. Magic's like kind of a niche game, and then like the people inside of Magic who only want to be competitive are like a niche inside of a niche. An LGS owner near me just sold my friend and told him they were standard legal. Why would WotC make region locked cards? That's awkward. I mean, they're standard legal somewhere, just not here. I don't know what the opponent's playing. We have a Spitfire. If we hit a white source, we can play the Clarion. I think this is keepable. Temple of Tilt, Temple of Tilt. Do 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 do. Dragon Sword's a great draw. I've got a Rootbound Crag there. Probably some kind of mid-range deck, which likely means the Clarion and the Spitfire aren't great, but there's a good chance that like the Eldest Reborn's pretty good here. Alright, I take it back. Spitfire's just fine. Just gonna go ahead and do this now. How is this deck doing so far? It seems alright. We just got done beating up green-black. This feels better than the Grixis Dragons deck we played previously, because it's got a little bit more going on. Do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to Dragon Sword this turn. It lets me play Eldest or Demanding Dragon guaranteed next turn. Rude. I guess if they shoot the Dragon's Hoard and I untap and I draw an untapped land, the Eldest Reborn kills the Ripjaw Raptor, which leaves us in an okay spot. And if we do brick off, I get to play Nicol Bolas as a constellation prize. We're not in a terrible spot here. Yeah, I'm like the Grinch who hates spoiler season, especially when I'm playing standard. At least the last couple spoiler seasons I just got to not care because I wasn't playing standard. This is the really important thing about spoiler season, folks. Everybody always comes in and like asks people to evaluate like these spoiler cards based on a format that they have no idea what's going on. The power level of Magic cards is format contextual. I can't tell you how good any spoiler is going to be or how good I think it is without just lying to you. I have no idea. How good these cards are depends very largely on the support that they have surrounding them. The Dinos deck was really good. I think that's the deck of the day so far. Alright, I would like some Star of Extinctions. I would like some Excellence. I guess Binding's actually kind of mediocre against their Thrashing Brontodon. Deafening Clarion seems really bad. I need some other things. You can't subjectively give your opinion on how a card will be combined in standard. I mean, I could, but it's a giant waste of time. So, like, especially in a card pool like Standard, what you have to realize is that, you know, Standard's getting, what? So we're adding a 6th set, so it's getting, like, what, 15% bigger, 16% bigger, whatever that math works out to. That's a big increase. Like, these cards that look like they might be relevant now, it only takes one card to render them completely pointless. So, like, you shouldn't spend energy, like, evaluating early, and then when you have to reevaluate again and again and again. You cannot... Magic cards don't have objective power levels. The power level of every card is subjective based on the context of the format that it's in. A great example of this for older Magic players is Jace the Mind Sculptor is really good in Legacy, and he's kind of mediocre in Modern because of how different the formats are and how creature-based they are. I mean, even Lightning Bolt is format contextual. If most of the creatures being played in a format have 4+ toughness, Lightning Bolt's not that good. It's not even just that Modern is a fast format that makes Jace worse. Modern's a very creature-based format, which makes Jace struggle because lots of things can attack him consistently. So Shivan Fire doesn't actually kill a ton of stuff in their deck, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and kill their Land War Elf here with it. Spit Flame, sorry, not Shivan Fire. You think Experimental Frenzy is ban-worthy? No. Do you know what's ban-worthy? Best of one is ban-worthy. It's nonsense high variance garbage. Cards like Experimental Frenzy are great in best of one because they're cards that are balanced in a game that's designed to balance for best of three. So I get to play turn 5 Niv here with dive down up. Sounds great. Sure. Now, it's worth noting that the deck that we're playing is a little bit worse of a Niv deck than some of the other decks in the format, right? That's pretty sweet. So I get to shoot this, and then I get to Lava Coil this, and then I get to Shivan Fire this. There's a lot of good stuff about to happen here. Are there green dragons? Actually, I probably want to keep holding up dive down, right? So I could play Dragon's Hoard and then tap the Dragon's Hoard to cast the Shivan Fire, but then I don't have dive down held up, and I think I'd prefer to keep holding up dive down here. Has the worst resource system of all popular card games. Firmly disagree with that. I agree with you that Magic's resource system adds an incredible amount of variance to the game, but the resource system in Magic is also what makes the game incredibly good from a deck building perspective. The amount of variety and depth of things that you can do in Magic the Gathering compared to a game like Hearthstone where they have to limit the cards that you play based on some other metric is night and day.
Beasts are much more reliable.
Hey, Borakan, thanks for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Like, don't get me wrong. I think Hearthstone is much lower variance than Magic, but it also has less interesting deck building because the resource systems differ. Yeah, I don't think I want to change anything. I think I'm happy with what we did here.
Special guest stars are here.
What? You want to come say hi?
Special guest stars.
You play hi to the internet?
Hi, internet.
This is where all my hair went, chat. This is where all my hair is gone.
Jake, can you say hi, internet?
It fell off. It fell off, and the children have taken it. I think this is a mulligan. It just doesn't really do anything. This seems fine. I'm gonna keep. This Hateful Stroke's pretty good.
Daddy,
I'm gonna bottom that looking for a thread, I think.
Daddy, you have hair. Daddy, you do have hair right now.
Oh, I do have hair?
Yeah.
I just have much less hair than when you were born.
Mommy, you should cut Daddy's hair.
I should cut his hair.
I can still want
Slow start out of them is good for us. Get to play another tap land here.
Turn around, Daddy. Turn around.
What know you of dragons?
Alright, let me see this.
Do I want to ditch a card here? I think I want to ditch a card. This could go either way here. Is it the Star of Extinction? The Star of Extinction is kind of like my oh no button. Maybe it's just the Dragon Horde. I can also see just like keeping all of these. Hey, Jesse, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime sub. Welcome. What do you think? I think I might just keep them. It's either Hoard or keep them, I think. Nah, I'm gonna keep them all. Null Hide Ferox. That's a big in. Woof. Alright, so I guess I'm just hoping for no Vivian here, right? Just like Stone Cold Dead to Vivian. Yeah, it wasn't. I was like trying to think. Like I was like, well, most of their 4-drops are smaller than Niv, right? So I like wasn't super worried. And then they played that one. Oh, they can't Vivian because of Ferox. Good call. Good call. Thanks for the clip, Norpaw. Do I stroke this? I guess stroke helps us draw towards lands. Like if I hit a land next turn though, I get to cast Star of Extinction anyways. I guess I might as well stroke this because if I star, I don't want them to draw a card really. Demanding Dragon's a decent pickup here. Just gonna go ahead and put this into play here. So like, if they take 5 here, I just like smack them with Niv, right? Then they die. Demanding Dragon's actually pretty sweet here. Wow, they sacked. Okay. I think I still attack, right? Now, the credit card's better. The credit card lets you spend money that you don't actually have. The debit card's like a balanced version of the credit card. Yeah, they're dead next turn, right? Go 6. Hey, Wolfie, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I can draw a card here without any fear because Nullhide Ferox says they can't play something like a Plummet. Credit card OP. If Watson cared about this game, they'd nerf the credit card. It's the real issue with Standard. You just get to fire up and smack him with the wallet. You're not wrong. I'd love to play first. This hand can't cast Clarion, but like it has Spit Flame as interaction, and like if we brick off on white mana, the Sarkhan can bin this for another card. Sarkhan also potentially enables a fast Niv-Mizzet on the play. Hey, the Deckmaster person just said Deckmaster server should be working again. Let me get that loaded up here. They've done nothing so far. It looks like Jeskai. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Okay, let me kick it and restart. He said the server crashed this morning. He just restarted it. What do I wanna? I'm gonna bin the Deafening Clarion here. I think they're on Jeskai control. I'm gonna board like they're on Jeskai control. They might be playing something not Jeskai control, but I'm gonna board like they're on Jeskai control. Sarkhan's pretty good. They should probably nerf that one. It's turn 3, win the game. All right, sweet. The Deckmaster extension for the mouse overlay should be working again. If it's not working on your desktop, feel free to refresh your browser page. Standard isn't confirmed to be a turn 3 format. Opponent's a smart AI, they know when they can't win. Exactly. Exactly. The Sarko's gonna like quickly take over that game, right? Sarkhan is basically turn 3 Tron, you're not wrong. Just make them pack it. It doesn't literally win the game, but it effectively wins the game. This hand needs some lands, but it's pretty good against Jeskai control. Hopefully they're actually playing Jeskai control and not playing something aggressive. That was not the untapped land I wanted for Christmas. Hopefully we find one next turn. Just to like get these Dragon's Hordes going. Alright, it's another tapped land, but it'll do in a pinch. Kind of surprised that the opponent didn't scry. They must have a negate, right? Because the only reason not to scry and hit a land drop there is if they're trying to hold up a counterspell, so they must have like a negate or a syncopate. Using my mana this turn is valuable, just to like get in there and like stopping them from drawing more cards with that down the line seems valuable as well. When you think about treasure map versus Dragon Hordes in this deck, I think in this specific deck, Dragon's Horde is better because it gives us a more immediate impact, whereas like treasure map's a more grindy card. This deck's a little bit more aggressive compared to the controlling side of things. So in a deck that's more controlling, I think treasure map's much better, but this deck tends to pressure people a little bit with like the Nicol Bolas into demanding dragons into Niv curves. So they're mapping again here. I assume this means that they're like casting a Teferi off of these tokens, these treasures. Yeah, that's true too, Duo. Like, Dragon Horde lets us cast Clarion on turn 4 if we're, like, missing a white source, which is valuable. I feel like if they have a counterspell, they probably want to counter this, just because, like, they can't counter Niv-Mizzet. I guess they also don't know they were missing. No, they know we're missing land drops, right? Because this was turn 5. Yeah, because all my lands came into play tapped. Like, they knew I was missing land drops. We're probably dead here.
Oh, trust me.
I could have Cleansing Nova. That's a good read. I guess if I hit an untapped land and get to go Niv into second Niv, we could run away with this game. We're definitely pretty far behind at this point. All right. That's step 1 is that. Step 2 is cast my uncounterable dude. He's so smug. Just like he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing to those control players. He's like, what up? I'm here from the Izzet. Hopefully we don't get Ixalan's Binding. Ixalan Binding we're gonna concede to. It's gonna lock us out for sure. If Arena catered to Modern, I would be so broke. I have big hopes for Magic's next non-rotating format. I'm hoping that it's gonna do great things. In my opinion, Magic's non-rotating formats tend to be great. Especially if we can get one that's a little bit more fair. Variety is also the spice of life, right? Like, while Arena is great, just like, and Standard's good right now, just like having a variety of constructed formats to play would be ideal. Alright, do you have a way to kill my dragon? I didn't cast Eldest Reborn there because my opponent very likely had a counterspell in their hand. Alright, so when they counter this Eldest Reborn, we'll concede. Move on with our lives. Survey says. I think I'd start the new format at Ixalan. I actually wrote about where I would start the new format in my article this month. Wow! We got savaged by the Spell Pierce. All right, well, I could have shocked that in to avoid that, I guess. We'll concede embarrassment now, though. Youch. Should definitely be a Banefire in my deck. Oh, you know what? Invoke the Divine is better than Spit Flame. Let's do that for Ixalan's Binding. Yeah, I think they likely had a negate or something else. They were just like using the Spell Pierce. Like they had 3 mana up there too, right? So they could have had Sabotage or Ionize as well. Yeah, I agree. Arena is big on the quick scoops. Nope. So one of the things, and this is something that one of the reasons why I think newer players get so frustrated playing against Control is Control in Magic is an archetype where when the game is unwinnable for you, they don't actually kill you. So we're not winning the game from the position we're in, but my opponent was probably going to spend another dozen turns before they actually put our health total to 0. And I'd just be sitting there like swinging helplessly while they sit there at a mass card advantage, which isn't very fun or interesting for me. Just like completely helpless. I think if a lot of people were able to better recognize when Control has them pretty much completely locked out and conceded sooner, they'd be happier. Hierarch Noble, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Another thing too to remember is that like you have to remember if you come from a background of tournament Magic, unlike in tournament Magic where you have to wait for the entire tournament to finish their match of Magic, on Arena, as soon as you're done with your match of Magic, you can just play more Magic right away. So there's really no reason to like sit there in matches that you're helpless in. You just like get on to the next one. This hand obviously needs a 3rd land, and I'm sure we're going to brick and die without it, but if we hit land 3-on-3 for the Sarkhan Fireblood, Sarkhan's draw discard will likely help us find the rest of the lands this hand needs. Swing and a miss. Our deck does only have 26 lands in it, but I think puts us about 75% to hit on the play here. We have 24 hits twice in 53 cards. We've got like 2 about 50%ers. Yeah, that's a good, I think that's a good read. The shock likely means there's a Spell Pierce. Welcome to Magic. Enjoy your stay. Welcome to the Space Jam. Good read on this Spell Pierce with a shotgun one. If they tap out for Niv and they don't have another 1 or 2 mana counter, we can untap, or sorry, for Teferi, we can untap and draw Ixalan's Binding this. Any paper Magic tournaments in my future? No. Paper Magic is just expensive and awkward. There's so much waiting. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. All right, wrap him up. Why didn't we Banefire for 1 rather than discarding it? Because it doesn't matter.
Keep up the pace.
All right, we're gonna see if we can draw a land here. All right, survey says. I am planning to attend the Nerd Rage tournament in March. I don't know if I'm going to go to their January or February ones. Driving through the Midwest in the winter, even just up to Chicago, can be annoying. Like my family keeps asking me if we're like driving up to Chicago for Christmas. I was just like, I don't know, because I don't know if it's going to snow or not. Yeah, their coverage has been really good. They've added a lot of production value to their stuff. Matt and Brad have done fantastic stuff with it. With your live content and YouTube exclusives, my life is approximately 4% watching your streams. Oh, well, I appreciate the support. Thanks for keeping me here. It's a good reminder to everybody, if you're new to my channel and you enjoy the way I do commentary and the way I talk through my plays, my website and my YouTube channel, jeffhoagland.com and youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Basically, everything I stream gets archived in those two places, and I cut everything up by deck, so you can search just for the decks that you care about to watch. Sure. Hopefully we draw a Dragon's Hoard or a Sarkhan next turn. Have a good turn 3 play. That's fine. Just 4 into 5 will still be pretty good here too. Electromancer likely means they're playing some kind of Phoenix or Drake stack, which often don't play counter spells in their main deck. So these two things are pretty likely to resolve, which will give us good pressure, right? Like 4/4 into 5/5 Lava Action is pretty decent. SCG is going to be stepping their game up big next year, though, Walker. I agree that SCG coverage from this year left a lot to be desired because they had a lot of ad time and ad breaks, but SCG's adding time-shifted feature matches in 2019, which is going to step their game up a lot. Yeah, I agree too, Rod. I'm actually going to be doing more live standard stuff and less modern stuff because the standard's just a lot more popular for a variety of reasons. I mean, I understand why SCG didn't add time-shifted feature matches for so long. It's a huge cost in terms of the dollars they have to invest. They have to hire a second coverage team and fly them out every single weekend. SCG is never going to have arena tournaments. SCG makes their money to keep their tournament series going by selling paper Magic cards. I think arena tournaments are definitely the future of Magic, Wizards events, but SCG is definitely going to be paper forever. I think I'm actually going to be live for a while on Christmas. I was talking to Christy and we're going to be opening presents with the kids Christmas morning, obviously, but I don't think we have any plans after that. So I'll probably be live on Christmas for a bit. I'm going to be off Christmas Eve, though, I think. Need to figure out exactly what my schedule is going to be like for that weekend. Yeah, Bolas spinning the bird is like a touch awkward for sure. Lava Coil is just such a good Magic card. This is easily like one of the best removal spells in Standard. Is this the best removal spell in Standard? It might just be the best. Demanding Dragon closes the game out quickly. He like chunks them for 5 when he comes in and then chunks for 5 the next 3 turns. It's another Drake. I mean, Cleansing Nova is not a removal spell, it's a sweeper. Yeah, I think because Lava Coil's a 2-mana spell, it puts it up over the top of a lot of the other ones. They're like 2 mana and Exiles are both absurd. If it was instant speed, it would easily be the best, but because it's a sorcery, it like is in contention with others potentially. We could potentially die here. Yeah, standard decks are really able to leverage you getting another land. So, like, the drawback on Assassin's Trophy is very real in this format, whereas, like, in Modern, it's more negligible. I feel like they want to attack with one of these here, but not the other. How's Spitfire been? Mediocre? Just okay? I guess I attack here and trade Dive Down for the Enigma Drake. If I were to donate, would you prefer gifted subs or bits? Bits is preferable, especially right now during the charity drive. So if you cheer on this channel or any other channel on Twitch between now and the 27th, make sure you use the charity hashtag. And Twitch is giving 20% of the bits that you cheer to charity, which is pretty awesome. And Twitch is taking that out of their cut, not the streamer cut, so the streamer still gets the full amount that you cheer. They have 3 birds in their bin. We could be dead here. Yeah, I think we're about to die. Yeah, that's actually lethal. This is 12 and 3 birds come back. Woof. I mean, Assassin's Trophy's like very good in Modern. It's like super playable. I don't think it's bad by any means. So Ixalan's Binding definitely comes in here. And then I want all of my removal spells. Chromium's probably a little bit slow. I guess he blocks well, but 7 mana is just so much. All of your hating is scaring people away. Been in the queue for 90 seconds. Oh no, not a minute and a half. Charity hashtag seems to be automatically triggered by snowflake bits, by the way. Yes, correct. The snowflake cheers automatically do it. The charity adds the hashtag automatically. But if you wanted to do a different bit animation, he had a lot of bricks. A lot of bricks these last couple of games. Maybe the Clarions aren't worth keeping in. Clarion might be worse than like something like the War Negates and like the expansion explosions. Where's the cup? Oh, I do have the cup unloaded, don't I? Have a cup. Simic, Omniscience, Nexus of Fate. No, that's not a deck that I'm aware of. Well, our spells are good. Our lands are really slow, though. You talked about tutoring on YouTube. Have you decided? I've not decided on that yet, Chalky. I think I'm gonna put up details for that after the holiday. Charity, can you throw this at Sultai, please? Definitely, Mr. Hat. For standard Sultai. Hey, Von Sake, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Perfect, will do. Thanks for the support.
Do your work. I don't need this. I need this.
What do you think about a blue-white historic deck? I don't know what that looks like, Vansake. It's tough to know exactly if something could be good or not without knowing like what a deck list is. There's a lot of different iterations of playable cards in this format. Dougie for Dealer's Choice, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. For people that aren't familiar, the people that are asking or requesting specific decks with their cheers, pretty much everything I play on this stream comes from a deck queue on my website, and people who donate dollars or cheer bits are encouraged to pick a deck in that deck queue, and then it gets moved up.
I summon you.
So the more someone supports a deck, the quicker it gets played. So I have 2, so I can play Dragon's Hoard here, and then I can go ahead and play Nicol Bolas. Will they ever have chat on Magic Arena? No, I don't think so. Why would I want to chat with my opponent? I have zero desire for my opponent to let me know how lucky they feel I got after we play a match of Magic. We donate 10 a deck to the queue. Can we do Dealer's Choice with certain restrictions? So I do build around deck list submissions if you want to say, hey, I want you to build a certain archetype within these restraints, and details for that can be found on my deck submission page. Maybe 1 Reborn is fine. I've played a whole lot of Control and Standard. The last thing I want is the best of them messaging me. Yep. Yep. Oh, yeah, that's fine, Dunshare. Happy to do that. Do you find a green-red Frenzy the Explorer package you like? Yeah, there's one up on my website, Chirp, that had a reasonable configuration that I liked. We've played it a few times now on stream. In fact, the #1 sign that I knew that Valve had no idea what they were doing with their artifact card game was that they're like, we're gonna give players a full chat mode. It's like, you should spend like 2 hours playing matches on Magic Online with a default chat mode before you think that's a good idea. Well, this is kind of a sad batch of Magic, but it just like stumbled and then mulliganed. Yeah, no worries. I know some people are really into hearing people chew, but I just assume most of the people here are here for the magic and not me chewing. You find that on other streams. No, I think it seemed pretty reasonable, boss. And as always, it's probably going to be a number of weeks before I get to your Esper Legacy deck, boss. I think I'm only doing 1 or 2 Legacy decks a week at most, so if you play the deck more and like tune and test it between now and then, feel free to make updates to the deck list you submitted. Baby carrots are great. A little bit of crunch is everything you need in your life. And the opponent's like playing Magic here, and like our hand's kind of slow, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this and then plus him. Ditch this extra Dragon Sword.
Who are you, madness? What madness?
When's the mono black deck? Probably one more match with this one. This match really wasn't like, our opponent just kind of like fumbled and died 2 games in a row, so I'm not gonna make this the last one. We'll probably play one more after this and then pivot to mono black. Don't you think making dual lands rare is scummy from Wizards of the Coast? I don't know. It's like trying to get paid for the game that they make scummy. Are you entitled to getting everything for free? I don't know, some people think they're entitled to getting everything for free.
Might demands power.
Dual lands also have a very real consideration and blowback in limited formats. Like having fixing being too good in limited is like a real thing. Niv dumpsters good draws out of the Phoenix deck, much less awkward bad draws where they mulligan a bunch. Let's play one more with the 4-color Dragons deck, and then we're gonna load up the mono black Banefire deck to wrap things up tonight. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Everyone's having a good Sunday wherever you're at. Thanks for dropping in here. Remember, if you're enjoying the content, hit that follow button. Let you know when I go live and with what. Also, be sure to check out my website and my YouTube channel, jeffhoagland.com, and youtube.com/jeffhoagland for all of my archives. Do I like this Dragon's deck? Yeah, it seems reasonable. I think the only card in the main deck that's a little bit questionable is Spitfire. Seems a little bit mediocre. Seems pretty good on the draw. On the draw means we're more likely to hit our third land for this. We have not put Chromium into play yet today. Yeah, we had a massive host from Nox earlier today that pumped us up. What do I want to do here? So I can Lava Coil the Hunted Witness to get rid of that permanently. The Adanto Vanguard is kind of a beating. I have Nicol Bolas that I can put into play 2 turns from now, but that's pretty slow, right? Like, I'm gonna get hit by this Vanguard twice. Yeah, the Chromium's just kind of a free roll because we want white for Clarion anyways. Lava Coil on Vanguard does not kill it. So I have to shock next turn, but I can go Dragon's Hoard into Shivan Fire on here, which is nice. If we don't get Heroic Reinforcement next turn, we'll be in a pretty good spot. But of course, they also didn't play another 1 or 2 drops. So their hand probably has a bunch of lands or expensive things in it. Yeah, any cheers that you do in the channel with hashtag charity will contribute to the Twitch charity fund. The Ajani is really bad for us here because it means the Adanto Vanguard is going to start attacking as a 4/4, a 4/2, which means it attacks through the Nicol Bolas. Probably pretty good here. Are there any good tempo decks in Modern that don't play Scalding Tarn? Blue Blackberries is a deck you can find on my website that's pretty reasonable. Does not involve Scalding Tarn. I believe I filed that one under the high potential section.
You can still fight.
We're on the 0 outer here, right? Adanto Vanguard is just so good. Yeah. We're hoping for the old misclick here. Mara said within the last 3 months he was playtesting fairies, so maybe the next 2 years there'll be additions to it. Were you changing language on your Deckmaster? Deckmaster defaults the language that you're browsing Twitch in, or viewing Twitch in. So whatever the language for your Twitch is, Deckmaster uses that language for its pop-ups. So we have a couple of Moment of Cravings here to help kill Adanto Vanguard. Get to trim these Eldest Reborns. Chromium's a bit slow too. I'm going to bring in Binding as one more way to deal with Adanto, but that card's definitely a thorn on our side. Do not have a lot of efficient ways to take it off the table here. This seems to be the story of a lot of these mid-range and control decks that people submit. Like, obviously they're fighting against things like Jeskai and Green-Black. They're arguably even good in these matchups, right? Like, they dumpster these other mid-range decks, but they just don't have enough respect for the decks that can get underneath them. The aggro decks just have such a diverse selection of tools that you need a lot more respect than these decks tend to have. Love to play first. It's an easy mulligan. This hand's like not amazing, but I think it's a keep. This is a Batman shirt. I got it from wherever my wife buys my clothes from. I'm a kept man. I just wear the clothes that she buys me. going on, Isabus? Welcome back. Danto Vanguard. At least I have Ixalan's Binding, right? So I get to do this into this. I'd say theoretically if Nicol Bolas to like get in the way too. Pretty bad against Conclave Tribunal though. Take another hit here this turn. Probably just gonna play the Ixalan's Binding out. This turn done. This is being done. It's great. Alright, so this Dorko is gonna flip next turn even. So, opponent bumbled and died here. I realized that I was really like this crotchety old man adult when Christy and I were like shopping for homes, and like the things I was excited about was like, you know, the kitchen in the house that we put an offer on, like the sink looks into the living room so I can like watch TV while I do the dishes and stuff like that. It's like these are not things that children get excited over. All right, so what am I doing here? I think I'm gonna attack for 4, flip this, and then just like draw 2. That's the plan. The heroic reinforcements mean next turn I could maybe die.
Well, I always have an answer.
Does it have a way of dealing with artifacts and enchantments just by bouncing them to the opponent's hand? So, what's the card called? The 1 blue, return a permanent, you can kick it to draw a card. Into the Royal. Blink of an Eye. Blink of an Eye is the new version of Into the Royal. I think I'm going to trim a dive down and bring another binding in here. The amount of times we need to dive down to protect our thing from removal spell in this matchup is probably fewer than the Excellence Binding will be useful. This hand just doesn't do anything. This hand just like also isn't very good. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the first one just because it plays magic guaranteed if I draw spells. This hand is like a bunch of tap lands, a bunch of 4 mana spells. The Spit Flames have been a little bit awkward. Ugh, this card is such a thorn in our side. It's like easily one of the best threats against control in the format. Yeah, I could have pitched land to Sarkhan. It's just that's like a really slow plan because it means like the first turn you're impacting the board is turn 4, but like this hand is also not impacting the board till turn 4, so meh. Untap land, please. All right, so final thoughts on dragons before we move along to. Mono Black Banefire. We did get a big host from Nox. So I think Spitflame is just a little bit too slow and clunky. And I think I'd like a couple of cards in this deck to like smooth out the bottom end of the draws. So I think I would cut Spitflame and easily go up to the 4th Lava Coil here in the main deck. And then I think I'd like some kind of 2 mana fixing. Like a couple of treasure maps or something like that. Maybe these Eldest Reborns could get out of here, but like some non-zero number of treasure map or discovery or something like that to like smooth out some of that resource variance. I think map's probably better in a Dragon's deck than Azcanta. I also would want to think about the mana base a little bit here. We had a lot of draws today where like we had mono tapped lands. So like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 lands in this deck that come into play guaranteed tapped. Yeah, trimming Chromium seems fine. So I think I would at least do this, like play the most shocklands and play fewer of these cards, like cut the Drowned Catacombs, go up a Watery Grave. Obviously, this makes the mana a little bit more painful, but painful mana is better than just like having mono tap lands for the first 2 to 3 turns and dying to aggro. I think I'd probably do something like this too, to head in the direction of if I was going to play this some more. We played that deck for about 2 hours. If you're interested in seeing more of it, we did win some matches, I swear.